You don't want people leaving negative comments on your posts. You don't want to get a bunch of negative reviews on Facebook. You might get fired from your job. You might get excommunicated from the people around you. You can get all the negative things that can come with being a supporter. And it's an interesting thing. Think about this. Any of you who works in any type of corporate environment or any type of bureaucratic environment, like corporate academia, for example, could you show up to work during the election's over now, but could you have shown up to work with a Harris and Walz, her VP candidate? Could you have showed up there wearing a Kamala Harris hat or a Kamala Harris shirt? Would anything bad happen to you? Of course not. Nothing would happen. Now let me ask the other question. Could you have shown up to work with a red Donald Trump hat on, a MAGA hat on? What would have happened to you have you done that? You wouldn't even have done it because you know what would have happened. Your coworkers would have been giving you side eyes. You would have got nasty looks. You would have been told to take the hat off. You might have got fired from your job. Everybody would be against you if you just showed up saying that I support this guy and where half the country has voted for this guy. But the Democratic Party has successfully turned being a conservative, specifically regarding Donald Trump. It's not even just conservative, but they have turned being a supporter of Donald Trump, who half the country voted for 3 times, into some negative thing that you want to hide. You got to hide in the closet when you're a supporter of Donald Trump. That's what they're doing. That's what they did. And here's why that is a problem for the Democratic Party. Because as we saw for the 3rd time in a row, half the country supports this guy. Half the country wants to hear what he has to say. But because of the way they've set things up, those people are so quiet during the campaign season that it seems, if you're only paying attention to social media, that it's going to be a runaway blowout win for whoever the Democrat is. And again, we'll say 2 out of 3 times. We'll get into the 2020 on a different live. I'm going to do a different live on the 2020 election period, because people have been asking me about that. I've talked about it, but I'm going to talk fully about it when my suspension on TikTok is lifted. And 3 times, or let's just say twice, half the country, that we call that the silent majority, has stepped up and made it clear, hey, we're supporting this guy. We're just supporting him at the ballot box, not on Instagram, not on TikTok, not on X, not on Facebook. We're just going to support him straight up where it matters, which is on the scoreboard. Scoreboard is what happens at the ballot box. All right, what happens on social media is not the scoreboard.